Okay, third time. This will be a short video. We're just going to be introducing the Quantum Wealth Book Club. Now, please ignore under construction mess in the background. Next time we show up here, you will see the final product. Now, to the topic at hand. Quantum Wealth Book Club kickoff session. So, getting straight into it. The Psychology of Money will be our first book. Now, I decided to start with this one because this one is, I'll just go ahead and say it, my favorite book when it comes to the money mindset and thinking about, as a society, particularly American society, how we've come to build this mindset around wealth that we have. And so Morgan Housel, he wrote the book, The Psychology of Money. And I really appreciate not only how he talked about the human psychology and just kind of how our behavior and emotions ultimately drive our financial decisions, but I really appreciated how he brought in some history, because we know in schools they were very selective with the history they taught. And so, as adults, here we are continuously learning and teaching ourselves what we need to know in order to, reach the goals that we have and what's relevant for us. And so when it comes to money and the history that he brought in this book, he talked about around World War II, when the soldiers came home and the same jobs that they had when they left weren't necessarily available when they came back. Also, because women started entering the workforce in mass because all the men were over at war. And so between the different job opportunities, between consumer credit being introduced to, the regular everyday person, and just this idea of the American dream, this is really when it took footing. And just the idea that, me, Martha Jones, I deserve to live just as rich and just as prosperous as anybody down the street. And that's where the keeping up with the Joneses came in, because now we had consumer credit in order to, bridge that lifestyle or to buy things that were maybe above our means. And so I just found it really fascinating. And the way I like to learn, I like to see that full picture. And so, this is just the introduction to it. And obviously you could tell I'm excited about it. And I'm excited to hear, some of you guys' takeaway and feedback from it, because that's something we talk about in the quantum wealth theory, that every single person is unique. Our desires are unique, our past experience is unique. And so, I know what I took away and my perception of it, but I definitely am always learning anytime I have these type of conversations. So looking forward to having these discussions with you guys. And if we want to just be very specific about what this looks like. So this is our kickoff for the book club, introducing our first book, The Psychology of Money. And so we'll plan to meet on the last Wednesday of every month. And if we're breaking it down to say, okay, over the next month or 4 weeks, we'll break down this book to read it. It looks like 20 chapters or 211 pages. Over 4 weeks, that's 53 pages per week. And let's say you want to read Monday through Friday, whether when you wake up in the morning or before you go to bed at night, or even on your lunch break, that's just 11 pages per day if you're reading Monday through Friday. And so that's just, kind of a high level way you can break it down. And over the next 4 weeks, I'll also be posting some engagement and discussion prompts in the community, just to kind of keep us active and engaged over the time until we meet again. And so when we do come back to review the book on March 26th, this will be the agenda that we go through. And so pretty much setting aside about an hour and a half to go through this. We'll start with some introductions and some warm-ups. Then we'll get into the big idea and discuss, the high-level topic of the book. Then we'll get into some small groups. We'll break out and just kind of have more intimate discussions around some of our thoughts, feelings, takeaways that we got from it. Then we'll come back together and have hot seats or lightning strategy sessions. I call it that because I want to give people an opportunity, if they maybe have like a certain financial decision or a situation or question they're dealing with, they can come up and, ask the group or ask me for some feedback or any advice. So we'll have the opportunity to bring that. And then closing out with just some Q&As, and then ultimately introducing the next book that we'll read over the next month. And so, yeah, I'm excited, looking forward to learning from everybody and having these discussions. And in the meantime, of course, you can find me in our private community, in our member circle. And until next time, be wealthy.